That is 100% what it is. It's bad hygiene. It's like not washing. There's some sort of a they're at your house and like that's where they're from. It's like, where do the lice come from? Billy's house, because it's so filthy and his parents are scum. That nobody wanted to say it, but that's what's going on.
I mean, I'm not saying you're wrong. It just doesn't coincide with my experience. You know, like hot girls would get lice. I got lice. It was always from in class. You would hang your coats in like, the closet, and they'd all be stacked next to each other, and lice would transfer from one to the other. And it seemed to be where it was from. Movie theater seats can give it to you.
Yikes. Don't like that. Never had lice that I remember. I don't think I've ever had lice. Never had any crabs either. At this point, I'm not sure crabs exist. Y'all ever have crabs?
No. I feel like you'd get lice long before you'd get crabs.
You know what I read? I read that crabs used to be a much bigger problem before women started primarily shaving down there. That there's so many people now that at the very least groom, but often just completely shave their pubic hair off, that now lice have lost their habitat.
That's good.
That's outstanding.
We're destroying their habitat.
Yeah.
They've mowed the rainforest.
Yeah, exactly. Now the monkeys don't have anywhere to swim. The sloth population has dropped.
I don't know why swimming doesn't kill lice. You'd think you'd just dunk in the pool for 40 minutes. They kill turtles, apparently.
I've seen some of those little tiny bugs do goofy shit and they can hold a bubble of air for up to 40 minutes underwater. And it's like, all right, well, fuck. Like, I can't do that. So you're going to die long before your like head bugs do.
Yeah.
Zach, find out how long lice can live underwater.
Mayonnaise is apparently was a lice killer. I never did the mayonnaise. A bunch of the kids in my school did. We just used medication because I got it. I did get it, and confident it wasn't from our household, but because I always thought it also came from dirty people, as Kyle said. That was my understanding of lice as a kid.
I think that's everyone's understanding. Like, if you're really banging on all cylinders hygiene wise, you're not going to have animals living on your scalp.
I always thought it was from communal areas. Do you check your coat at a restaurant? You could get lice.
No, it's true, Woody, but I think the question is like, where did they come from? Because they weren't born in the communal area. I think the idea is like some dirty kid brought it to the communal area, and now
they live in that guy's
Woodworth
house.
has the lice.
If they're detected in your home, your parents will do everything they can. They will eradicate them. Like we got to throw the beds away. Shit, that's going to be expensive. New carpet, damn, that's expensive. But there won't be parasites living in your house. Whatever it takes. But some people are just like, I'm always itchy. You just get some people live like that. Bed bugs is the real problem, though. From what I understand, bed bug infestations are incredibly difficult to deal with. Maybe they don't respond well to pesticides, or maybe the pesticides they do respond well to shouldn't be used on your sleeping surfaces. It's something about bed bugs that make them difficult to get rid of.
I think I had bed bugs in college. The first apartment I had in college, my sophomore year, was in a building that I think 3 or 4 years after I moved out was condemned. Just a horrible, disgusting apartment building. It was one house that some like weekend warrior owner turned into 4 separate apartments, and my floor was totally slanted. And because of the layout and how like slap shot it was together, stuff didn't make sense. The kitchen was like bolted on to like a bathroom area, and like the living room was weird. And like if you could stand in the corner of the bedroom and see a straight shot through all the rooms, through the hallway to the end of the kitchen, and you were like visibly taller if you were on the other side of the apartment. Like you could, if you dropped a marble in my bedroom and you could keep it from bouncing into walls, it would have just rolled and gained speed by the time it got to my kitchen. It was so slanted. Like you could, when you're walking on uneven ground, you can just tell. And that's what it was like. This is my sophomore year in college, the first apartment I had. And I remember waking up probably a couple months into living there and being like, man, what are these bumps on my legs? Like, what's going on here? And it wasn't a crazy amount, and so I wasn't worried. And then I kept getting them for a bit, and I had this realization of like, wait, is this what bed bugs are? And so I just Googled like, what do you do about bed bugs? And it's like, you can do this and that, or a lot of people buy a hypoallergenic mattress wrap that seals around your entire mattress, and then all the ones, like if there are bugs there, they're just going to suffocate because now they can't come out in the middle of the night. They're just going to over time not be able to reproduce, and they can't get to you. And I put that on my mattress, and immediately the marks stopped and the bug bites went away. And so that was the end of that for me. Easy peasy.
Do they only infect a mattress? I mean, I know they're called bed bugs, but I thought they got in your luggage and came home from hotels and stuff like that.
I've heard that as a
Oh,
rumor. I thought it was
yeah.
always mattresses, but like I think you might be right. Like we had a bed bug infestation in my first year of college, and it spread to the entire floor. I tried to deal with that thing like you would like a zombie apocalypse. I tried to like Lysol everything when everybody around me was getting bed bugs, but eventually they just get in there. And exactly like what Taylor said, like I was finding like bumps on me, but I was also then finding like blood streaks on the mattress, which would be like I don't know if it's the bed bugs getting squashed or them dragging my blood. I don't know what it was, but it's disgusting. It was vile. My parents wouldn't let me come back home until all of that was taken care of. I was stuck there
because they're clean. Yeah, bed bugs are disgusting. It's like I'm trying my best to be in my sanctuary right now, in my bed, sleeping, recuperating, and you just know that there's some monster that's going to feast on you.
You ever at Chiggers?
Yes, constantly, all the time, running around in the yard as a kid.
Chiggers are larvae. They're the larvae of mites, and they attach to your skin. You get them in tall grass, and they bore into your flesh and leave like a proboscis on the outside so they can breathe. And they're just inside you, making you all itchy and rashy. And the easy
you get a ton of them. You can get like your whole, like your ankle and like lower calf area. I don't know if you got them like that, but just covered.
Walking in fields in Tennessee that with like really tall grass, and came home with chiggers all over my ankles. I put nail polish on them. But the only I don't paint my nails normally, so they were the only nail polish I had access to was like purple or green or some shit, and so I got all these purple streaks on my ankles for a week. It was good to be rid of them, though. It was a small price to pay. Those things were itchy.
Oh yeah, they're way itchier than mosquitoes even.
Parasites in general, like, really ick me out. I think there was this show on maybe Discovery Channel it was all about parasites. It was about things living inside of people and them not knowing it. They covered bot flies and all sorts of things. I saw a thing on Reddit recently about how tapeworms were very fashionable at one point for weight loss. You could go to the store and buy a bottle and it had like a tapeworm egg in it, and ladies would take it to lose weight.
Yeah, my girlfriend would often joke about wanting a tapeworm for her. She does bodybuilding, so like to like cut the final like couple pounds before getting on stage. She wanted that tapeworm, man. We didn't know where to get it.
You can get a black market tapeworm.
They go to your brain sometimes.
You gotta want it.
It's not a being healthy competition; it's a looking healthy competition.
Yeah.
Fuck. They also I've seen them not in person but on the internet when they're coming out the back end of a dog. The dog will be trailing this 15-foot long, and it'll be multiple, like worm that's hanging out of its ass, and it's like, oh God, do I pull or do I cut or do I just run away? Like what?
Yeah, I've seen that with like bears. I've seen footage of bears with these like super long worms just coming out of their ass, and like, man, that cannot be comfortable, brother. I'm sorry you're going through that.
Oh,
we talked about that recently. Yeah, those parasites are disgusting.
Oh, yeah.
And bears are lousy with them.
I don't want any parasites. It's bad enough I know that we've got those mites on our eyelashes. That whenever I think about that too much, it bugs me.
Yeah, they're not hurting us. Those ones are fine.
I guess.
Yeah.
True. Oh yeah.
Yeah, a tapeworm is way worse than a little mite in your skin.
Yeah. I've never known.
Google, do I have mites on my eyelashes?
Ask Grok. And then ask Grok who's responsible for it. Who group is responsible for the eyelash mites?
It says this. It's likely you have eyelash mites, as they're common and often asymptomatic. However, if you're experiencing symptoms like itchy burning or crusty eyelids, blurry vision, or excessive tearing, you might have an eyelash mite infestation that requires treatment. Implying that there are infestations that don't require treatment.
Exactly.
I'm guessing those are the ones Kyle's is talking about.
You've got your here's what you do, Woody. This would be such a great science experiment. Pluck a couple eyelashes and get the old microscope up. And what you like zoom in, you like focus, and it's rife with them. They're waving, they're giving you the birds.
The claws.
Is that something that like you know about? Like parasite infestations? Like if
Like
you
a-
have one, you would know, right?
No,
Probably.
depends
Because
what it
that's
is,
one
right?
thing, like, you know how occasionally you get sick and maybe you need an antibiotic? I don't think in my entire life I've ever like been put on something for parasites.
You could be full of them then. Who knows?
Yeah, take your
Have you?
ivermectin.
Well, I'm
Oh
not
yeah, I
gonna-
take
I'm
my
not gonna-
anti-parasite medication every 6 months.
daily?
I know Woody does. He takes his daily, just to be sure. But like,
Well,
you never
now
take
we know
your-
where lice comes from. Taylor's house.
I'm from the super spreader.
That's where the buttworms come from. Yeah, I don't know. You
No.
might be rife with parasites. I don't know. My take, or at least my belief, is that I think in the Western world we've kind of dealt with all the parasites. It's when you go to a jungle or something that something bores its way into you and starts living there. Those human botflies are terrifying. They
Those are awful.
literally lay their eggs in your flesh, and the maggots grow and eat you, and
Yeah,
you have
those-
to pick them out of your flesh.
That was like a person being infested with human botflies was like the first internet video that really like made me realize that the internet is a fucking vile place. That was
Mhm.
there was something called the Gauntlet. Did you guys ever have to do
Yes.
the Gauntlet? Yes.
I think we
What-
watched it on the show one time.
We
I think
did.
one of the
Just
first
care
ones
for
is
it.
a human botfly infestation, if I'm remembering the Gauntlet correctly. And then it gets to like, this girl breaks her femur. Then you have to move on to the next one. But I remember specifically the human botfly, and like I think like an old woman's eye or something.
Yeah, I everything else in that gauntlet we had to run was totally wiped from my memory after that Ukrainian guy beat someone to death with a hammer in the woods.
Two man's one ice
Suddenly
stick
I
or
was
something
like,
that?
oh man, can we go back to those sweet botfly videos?